Hello and welcome back. It's Somber here. This is the next in my series of the Warhammer game. We're playing in Dominion 6. We're using the Somber Warhammer mod, and we're using every single nation in it, so 26 nations competing for glory. We're playing as Cathay. It is turn number 6. Let's have a look. So firstly, we were searching for fire sites. We whiffed this time. We got one last time, so I'm not feeling too bad about that. We'll keep sending our fire elementalists out to search for fire sites. We've got a battle in Myritrand and a worldwide event. Let's look at the worldwide event first. Something has shifted in the alignment of the worlds. A flux of dark energy can be sensed throughout the heavenly spheres. This can only mean that one of the legendary gates to hell have manifested in the realm of mortals. Woe to all should it be opened. So a big story event here, I think. If somebody can find the gate to hell, there'll be a bunch of demons coming out of it and then they can do something with it. I think. I'm not very familiar with that event, so it would be interesting to see what happens. And then we've got a couple of battles. So Myritrand is first. This battle, we have our main force with our Prophet, Iron Buddy Monks, our medium infantry, including our Celestial Guards, some crossbows, and of course our Fire Rain Wagon. And we are fighting a load of Lion Tribe. So should be a win. The question is, do we lose anyone in the process? A first volley from the Fire Rain kills 3 Lion Tribe warriors. The crossbows kill 1 or 2. Unfortunately, they are targeting my crossbows, which means I could take an unlucky hit onto the Fire Rain Wagoneer. He is very low protection, but he's not that likely to get hit because the Ox taking up most of the space in that square. Let's watch. So a couple of javelin hits on my guys, some crossbow hits amongst the Lion Tribe, and we make contact, and the Fire Rain does not hit us and devastates some more Lion Tribe. These guys should rout pretty soon. They've lost, a third of their troops, maybe half by now. And our Iron Body Monks are going to smash the archers. So an easy win. Will we get any friendly fire in this last section? This guy must have a limp or something. Yeah, he's got a limp. So we're watching out for friendly fire. There was some friendly fire. Some monks got hit, but they do, of course, have fire resistance, which helps them quite a lot in surviving that. That's because of our bless. And then any more friendly fire at the end? No. So did we lose anyone? We lost 1 Celestial Guard. I think they were hit by just javelins and killed, which does happen. They're expensive, 20 gold. Not something to be sniffed at, but they don't actually have that high protection. They've got a very nice shield though, so it's kind of surprising one of them died there. Now we have a battle in Musul. So similar force composition, but no ranged units, no Fire Rain Wagon. But we've got a lot of Iron Body Monks here. We've got a Monk Abbot to bless them. These guys are actually kind of tough as well. They've got high protection, very high defensive skill. They're not very good at fighting, but they can keep themselves alive with those. And then we've got some Celestial Guard and some mixed in some Jade Halberdiers and Jade Swordsmen. They're absorbing the missile fire, which is good. The enemy forces are some archers, some light infantry with javelins, and some militia. These guys are no threat really in melee to our troops. The javelins might hurt us. Let's find out. Yeah, a little bit of damage to the monks from the javelins. Monks don't have shields, and they only have 16 protection. So they are likely to be hurt by javelins from time to time, but they don't tend to get finished off when they are hurt, and also they've got recuperation. So when they pick up an affliction like this guy is weakened, they then fix themselves out of combat. In they go. There's the solar weapons setting some people on fire. That's fine that these guys went past going for the archers. The monks will not have much difficulty mopping up these guys. Oh, I see the monk abbot's getting involved. He missed. It's kind of cool these guys are getting a bit involved in the fighting. So that's a win over there, and then the Celestial Guard should make short work of these archers. Let's speed through. Yep, there we go. So that was our battles for the turn. We've still got unrest in our capital. I think a couple of turns ago I set a commander to patrol, and then I must have somehow misclicked, and then they just didn't patrol. So we do still have unrest, and we don't have anyone to patrol that. Well, we could patrol this turn, but I'm going to take my forces up here. So We're going to take this Imperial Alchemist. He's going to take 5 Iron Body Monks and 11 of these ranged guys, and he's going to join this attack on Bay Pond. He's going to join up with our main stack, so we'll have quite a lot of ranged firepower. We'll have decent bit of infantry at the front to absorb missile fire, and then we've got 13 Iron Body Monks. So this shouldn't be a problem, Bay Pond. We know that there's heavy infantry there, but we can just beat our way through those. And the main thing is, hopefully we don't get much friendly fire. Over in Musul, these forces are going to go 3 Pine Grove will be where they'll take on. Bear Tribe warriors, so guys with axes and javelins. We have got Iron Body Monks. Actually, we'll put them slightly back, like that. And we've got our medium infantry, including our Celestial Guard. So should be fine there. Might take a couple of casualties in both these battles, I would think. Bright Gate can only be accessed from 3 Pine, Muspel, and Dendra Negra. That's a nice chunky province to take. It's got heavy cavalry. I'm not going to take it this turn because I want to cut it off so I can get it whenever I want in case there's enemies in these provinces, which is quite possible. We just have been quite gold starved, so I haven't really got the scouting that I would normally have. We also really haven't had anything to spend on province defense. You can see these are basically on 1 province defense because we just can't afford it. I'd want to put my province defense money into Cathay to get a bastion there, but of course this entire game we've just been like, haven't got enough gold, and the unrest in our capital has not really helped us with that. You can see that we've got basic Imperial Harmony appearing in some places now. We've got emerging there, which is getting us a bit more money. In our capital, we still only have basic Imperial Harmony because of the unrest. Again, that missed patrol is a real problem, but it's fine. The unrest is going down on its own, and we don't lose any population this way as well. Yeah, so this would be a tempting target, Retha, but we're going to take Bay Pond first because it's cap circle. Always good to do that. And then probably go after Retha and then find out what's happening down here. So I've got a scout that's moving to Canaral. It's got lots of connections, so we'll be able to see our immediate area off to the east. And we should also make a plan for getting these water provinces. Now, the easiest way for me to get water provinces would be to get a Dragonblood Lord and get a Water Item on them. And we are planning to get construction once we've done some more enchantment research. So yeah, that fits in. I think it'll be quite a few turns away, but once we've got them and they're able to go into those seas, even if somebody else has taken them, we could potentially just go, nah, get out of there. We'll take those. But I think it's quite important for us to take both of those if we can, because they're just good provinces that are quite easily defensible and they're kind of within our area, which is, someone up here, for instance, has a lot less water right next to them. This turn we are recruiting some Iron Body Monks. We are recruiting another Monk Abbot. We want to have Monk Abbots out there always blessing our Iron Body Monks because our bless is strong enough that we want to always have it on our sacreds. And another Imperial Alchemist. The reason for the Imperial Alchemist being that next turn we will be able to do an alchemy spell. We'll have 10 fire, so we'll do our first one of those, and then we'll probably do the earth one as well, because we just need that gold. I could trade with people for fire gems as well. That might be something that's worth doing. I'll see if anyone's got any for trade. And then we're recruiting some Dynast cavalry. This is because we are also in Dendra Negra recruiting a Jade Commander. So he'll come out, he'll move to Cathay, and then in the next turn we'll have some Dynast cavalry and some Jade Lancers, and we'll have a cavalry stack. So he'll run around with those, and the Iron Body Monks will keep recruiting, and they'll go off with monks and things and join these stacks to try and get some more expansion done. Quite slow expansion, and some problems we've been having, but I think we're doing okay. We're not fallen massively behind. No disasters so far. Just that unrest in the capital really was a problem. Misfortune could get us at any moment, so we'll just have to see how that goes. That's everything for turn 6, so on to the next turn. It's turn number 7. We searched Sulfury. You'd think Sulfury would have fire sites, but no. None were found. Tylea has got a new prophet. Tax evasion, the Venator captain, which we know as the prophet of more money, less problems. So that's Voland's Venator's Regiment of Renown they've managed to get. It's a pretty good one, especially for expansion. A battle in Bay Pond. Here we have our big army, so lots of shooters, lots of Iron Body Monks, and some infantry against not that much. Just fiddle with the sound settings. There we go. So, monks and infantry, we've managed to miss the heavy infantry, who are now going to walk straight towards this. I'm a bit worried about the fire rain wagon coming under some fire there. I think one of our archers just got killed by their archers. Fire rain wagon doing some damage. It's nice that it sets them on fire. Kind of whittles them down. Like this one's been on fire for a few rounds. Hold on, where is he? That guy, that guy. He's been on fire for a few rounds, he's down to 3 hit points. They've reached them. What about these? So we've defeated their infantry and we've got their archers. So they'll be dead in like a round or two, and these guys will come back and help with these. We should be fine. Let's watch over here, because this is the important bit. Did we get injured? The armoured ox has been hit. The fire rain wagoneer is generally fairly safe. The ox less so. But the ox is very high protection and quite tough. There we go. Our mage there was casting burn over and over, this Imperial Alchemist. It turned out quite well, setting them on fire. You know, he's probably just going to die from fire without anyone having to attack him. This is one of the things, we've got heat scales as well, so they're more likely to burn. Alright, let's see if we lost anyone. A peasant archer, 1 celestial guard. I mean, that's not bad. The fire rain wagoneer really didn't do very much, only got 4 kills, but I believe they were all enemies, which is nice. The Jade Commander smiting people got quite a lot, and the Iron Body Monks. They must be building up their experience, that's for sure. Battle in Three Pine Grove. Now this is a group of monks with the abbot, and then infantry, so all melee, and we're against a lot of Bear Tribe. So we could take some casualties here. The javelins are quite nasty. Bear Tribe hit fairly hard, you know, those hatchets. Oh, 16's not that hard. But it's slashing damage. We're on hold and attack to give time for blessings. So we should be impacting them at roughly the same time, these two groups, I think. Yeah, not too bad. And we've got pretty good troop quality here. Even our worst troops are the Jade Halberdiers. They're still attack 11, 22 damage, so, you know, quite offensively potent. These guys can sometimes be a problem, Barbarian Chiefs, particularly when they're berserked. And he gets one shot by a monk, very nice. Thwack. Absolutely fine, don't think we're going to lose anyone there. Let's have a look. 1 Celestial Guard. I mean, I think they just don't quite have the protection, so they'll sometimes get killed by things, javelins and things. So this turn, we've got 2 expansion groups basically. We've got our main force in Bay Pond, they're moving to Wraith, and they're being supported by some more troops from Cathay. The troops from Cathay are this group of Iron Body monks, with this monk abbot with them. He doesn't need to do any blessing because we've got a prophet there, but that's just more monks. So a strong force, and we're going up against these guys, crossbowmen, light infantry, heavy infantry. We're going to aim for the crossbows with our ranged weapons. They're on fire archers. So we're just going to go for Retha. We found that the beastmen off to the east, it would be nice to take Retha and Northia at least, and build a kind of a border there, and see what we can do down here. In the northwest, this group is going to split into 2, because they're attacking 2 quite weak provinces. So one of them, Dudes of Death, archers and militia, and just not very much of either. So we're just sending our shielded troops there, and that should be a fairly straightforward stomp of those guys. And Spire Woods, we've got archers, heavy infantry, and militia. So again, not that scary. And there we're sending these 9, and that should be enough. 9 Iron Body monks. They are very strong. They should be able to beat their way through those. So if we do take Spirewoods, that will mean that, and especially Dunes of Death, Akaist will be cut off and we can take it whenever we want. And Brightgate is already cut off and we can take it whenever we want. So we're just securing the shape of our realm here. Spring Spires we can't get to. Here, the reason that we can't take any more troops there than the monks is because there's actually a river crossing between those two. If I just stop this, you can see there's a river crossing. But the monks and the monk abbot have swimming because they are supremely fit and martially talented. They just swim across the river. Very useful. Back at the capital, we are recruiting some more Iron Body monks, of course, Imperial Alchemist, and we don't want to waste any of our command points, so we're doing another Herbalist. And then we're getting a bunch of cavalry, as we decided last turn we would. We're sending this guy over here, Goon. Goon will go and join these 3 Dynast cavalry, and he will have an additional 2. So he'll have 5 Dynast cavalry and then a bunch of Jade Lancers. So pretty strong, kind of heavy/medium cavalry stack. Definitely Lance cavalry, and they can go and help take things like Walden, Northia, and they could help with either Breakgate or Akais. Heavy cavalry you can fight with your own heavy or medium cavalry as long as they've got enough defense skill. That usually works out. We're continuing our site searching. And we are now, we had 10 fire gems, so we cast Distill Gold, and you can see we've got Alchemist 50, so we get an extra 50% more gems. So I believe we'll get 450, sorry, not gems, gold. We'll get 450 gold extra next turn from those 10 fire gems. And we'll probably, the turn after that, use our earth gems as well, because at the moment, gold is more valuable than gems. That said, we want to keep moving around our fire mages and searching. And we're also searching up here, and that's fire, water, and earth. So hopefully we'll hit a site in Bay Pond, but who knows. So a bit of everything this turn. I've heard from the orcs that they're not really interested in fighting, which is good. I've kind of said we're not going to be allies or anything, but if they stay away from us, then that's fine. But yeah, we're next to orcs and beastmen, so kind of unpredictable, unpleasant neighbours. Right, that's everything for this turn, and I'll catch you the next turn. It is turn number 8. So we've got a first claiming of a throne by the orc boss, presumably the prophet. Get the clans together. The white throne has been taken. Okay. We cast Distill Gold and got 375 gold. So I guess that was because it's plus 50%. So I guess that's 250 and then plus 125 for the extra 50%. I wasn't. Yeah, I think I'd miscalculated that. I thought it was 450 last turn. We searched and didn't find anything. We searched and didn't find anything. This is kind of unlucky, but we'll just keep searching. We've got a battle in Spirewoods. So Spirewoods is just our Iron Body monks, but Iron Body monks are very nasty, and of course they have experience stars, and they are up against a bunch of not very scary stuff. I guess the heavy infantry could do some damage and the archers could do a little bit of damage, but overall I would say we'll probably just plow through these guys. This won't really be a problem. Iron Body Monk's vulnerability is to things like crossbows and javelins, missile weapons that hit somewhat hard, because they don't really have very good protection and they rely on their defense, at least with my bless. You can see they are taking some nasty hits. We could easily lose some here, but we are beating up the heavy infantry in combat without much difficulty. Maybe we'll lose one to missile fire. Unclear. Yeah, I think we lost one then to a short bow. It happens. We did spread our forces somewhat thin this turn, trying to take multiple provinces. And we did win that one. So I think we lost one monk. Yep, 30 gold. It's okay. It's never ideal to lose monks, but it happens. Dunes of Death, we've just got our fairly good quality infantry here. Obviously we've got Celestial Guards with stars. They've got attack skill 13, defense skill 16, protection 14, so pretty good. And they are up against just some rubbish, really. Let's just put this on full speed. I don't think I'll lose any guys here. Should be fairly straightforward. Yeah, that was the easier of the 2 provinces, so he makes short work of that. And then we've got a battle in Wraither, so this is our main force, but they're up against a much nastier enemy because they've got quite a few crossbows. And crossbows are kind of a problem for us, which is why we told them to fire archers. Killed one, I think. We've got the bolts coming in. Got a lot of Iron Body monks. They are all blessed. This is a small squad, so prone to routing, I would imagine. And we're not quite, this is not ideal to have this small group hitting them here. Oh, they're all going for the infantry, so that group's going to be destroyed without any issue. Set some of my own monks on fire. Not ideal. He was told to fire archers, but he decided not to. Kind of annoying. My crossbow is shooting some of my own guys there, and these Iron Body Monks have decided to flee. That's the small squad problem, even with good morale. If you have a small squad below 5 people, or 5 and below, I think, it's just much more prone to fleeing. I foresee a problem here. This squad, they're all chasing this one retreating heavy infantry. They will catch him because they're faster, but in the meantime, they're just running past these crossbows at short range. That is exactly what you don't want to be doing against crossbows because they are very accurate at short range and they're a pretty good counter to Iron Monks. So I expect we're going to take some casualties from that. Getting shot up, yep. Shot up. Not great. Here comes some more fire. I think it hit mostly my own guys there, so a bit unlucky. And now we're going to tear the crossbows apart now that we're close to them. But I definitely lost a few monks there, and some retreated, and may have died in the retreat. And my fire wagon just shot my own guys quite a lot too. So, bad losses. 2 Celestial Guards. They didn't really do anything in that fight, interesting. 4 Iron Body Monks killed, 2 Jade Swordsmen killed. The enemy's crossbows got 6 kills. So probably that was the thing mostly doing damage. Light infantry killed 1, presumably with a javelin. And then Fire and Wagoneer must have killed one of my own guys. Not great, but we did take that province. We knew it was going to be a little bit tough. Yeah, those were kind of experienced monks too. We know that some of them retreated. I picked some up here. I think 4 retreated, 1 died in retreat. We picked 3 up. So yeah, we've picked them up. So I'm moving those monks and my main force down here to take this province here, Northia. This has got militia, archers, and heavy infantry, things I'm not particularly worried about with my monks. And I've got, a decent number of monks. We've kind of joined everyone together at this point. And we've got our main force, of crossbows and the fire wagon and everything. Set to fire archers. Hopefully they will fire archers this time instead of just shooting into my own guys. The orcs seem like they're poised to take Llama. That would be okay. We'll take this province. And then what we really want to do is secure this throne, because it's quite of a part of a choke point against the beastmen here. It looks like all this territory found by most scouts is untaken, so if we could kind of sweep around and enclose this sea province, that would be good. Up in the north, we are joining our forces back together to fight Akist. Now this has quite a few enemy units, and it has militia, heavy cavalry, and light cavalry. I'm not worried about the militia or the light cavalry whatsoever, it's just the heavy cavalry. Now, heavy cavalry are really nasty, and generally what you'd want to do is stick some troops at the front that can just absorb their charge, take some casualties, catch the lances, which are the most dangerous thing. But in this case, I have decided not to do that, and I'm sticking my monks at the front. The reason to do that is because the high defense of the monks, with their stars, with the bless adding even more to their defense, should be enough to just dodge the lances. And then they'll be used up, and then I won't lose these infantry in that. But this is going to be a tough fight, so the hope is it's just worth it to group our forces back together there and knock over that province. We can take our time on it if we want to, but the reason I'm not moving out any further is this group is only 8 monks, and I don't think they're strong enough to beat necessarily this without taking casualties. Diatribe warriors, Diatribe archers, they throw lots of missiles at you, the problem with the monks, and it might get attacked by this, which is the Middenheim. So he's got the White Wolf Order there, and they're pretty nasty. They probably be 8 monks, and they could be attacking that province. Wouldn't surprise me. More likely that they'll attack this province because light infantry, militia, and archers cannot really beat them. But I'm glad to have Spirewords. I'll take it Keast, and then this throne maybe we'll contend for. If we can gather some forces there, but obviously we've got to at some point knock over Breakgate as well. I had a lot of money this turn, so obviously we're doing some recruitment. We also pushed our defense on our capital up to 40. The reason to do that is to get a bastion that then generates those extra troops automatically and allow me to make tortoise soldiers, which I will enjoy making. I want to make a variety of troops because obviously I'm kind of showcasing the mod and everything in this. So I'll try to make a variety of all the different troops and use them all rather than using just one thing kind of over and over again. This turn we are recruiting a Dragon Blood Lord. I cancelled out the Herbalist to get some of the gold back and the commander point. So it's this turn and next turn all the command points will be spent on the Dragon Blood Lord. These guys are amazing, obviously. Very powerful elementalists. There are chances to get 3 in the various paths. They fly, they're sacred, they do lots of cool stuff. We definitely, a centerpiece of whatever we're going to do will definitely be these Dragonblood Lords. And I'm going to recruit a ton of crossbows and repeater crossbowmen. So these guys fire 2 rounds. So crossbows fire once every other round. Repeater crossbows fire 2 per round. So very fast firing. They are low damage and they do weak poison. So they just pelt stuff with shots until they eventually pierce through with some poison. So I've gone for half of them and half of Jade Crossbowmen in a kind of a big missile unit chunk. And then, of course, every turn we get as many Iron Body Monks as we can. And we do want to get another fort up and doing those. It's more important for me right now to spend my money on forces, get the Dragonblood Lords going, and get our defense and our capital up. We are casting Alchemical Transmutation with Earth Gems. You get less gold for doing that, but just any gold we can get at all at the moment, and using our alchemy bonus, it's really good. So we're going to be firing that one out. And I'm moving my fire mages off site searching. I've actually moved one of them over here just to take these monks back into combat, and he's just going to be casting burn, and because he'll be able to site search that then. So more of the same really, but site searching, still doing expansion, trying to kind of grab my borders as much as I can. I'm not super happy with the expansion. We're running into all the edges of stuff here. We've got Norska above us. We've got Middenheim here. We've got Orcs. We've got Beastmen. But as much as we can, we're going to grab what we can and get ourselves in a solid position. Research-wise, nearly got enchantment to level 2. We're going to keep going on to level 3, obviously. I want to get Gift of Giant Strength, so it means we're going to have to start getting those Earth Mages recruited as well. We don't have very many of those. We could also use Gift of Flight with our Air Elementalists. We can summon those up, recruit those. Gift of Flight can be really useful in our first war to kind of do surprise attacks and things, so very nice. And a couple of other things that are useful in there, like Winter Ward, Fire Shield, of course, for our Dragon Bloods. We do want to be getting as many Dragon Bloods as possible, so we will, as when we have the cash available, try and get some of those going. Okay, that's everything for this turn, and I'll catch you next turn. It's turn number 9. We've got to level 2 in enchantment. That gives us Ignite Arrows. Ignite Arrows, maybe Envenom Arrows could be used. Not really anything else. Personal Flight, possibly under some circumstances. We've got 2 more Thrones claimed. We're going to see a lot of Thrones claimed because it's a big game, so you just statistically get more claimed early on. Voice of Nagash has claimed the Throne of Bones, very appropriate. And Ratatouille the Warlord for the Skaven has claimed the Throne of the Second Age. I don't really know what that one does, but I think that might be an Order Throne. We've cast Alchemical Transmutation with Earth Gems, so we get less gold than we did with the Fire Gems, but 300 gold is still very useful. And then we have a battle in Assist. Let's have a look. See if we can assist the enemy in dying. We've got a group of Iron Body Monks, and we've got some decent quality infantry. I think these guys have been through a lot of fights, so they're experienced starred. Some of the monks have 2. Now the hope here was that the monks would just catch this charge from the knights, and their high defense values would mean they don't take any damage. We're going to be pelted with a few arrows and things, but that's okay. So let's have a look. So we're just holding so that we separate the heavy cavalry from the militia. Looking good. Placement's good. And the initial charge hits nothing. It's actually the arrow that hit that guy that did some damage, I think. Yes. Interesting. We really are quite a bit more vulnerable to these ranged attacks than we are to anything else. You can see the monks just beating these horses up. They're hitting the horses, they're hitting the riders, they're hitting everybody out here. And our halberds are going to help chopping up those more heavily armoured cavalry. And then we got to deal with the militia. And the cavalry has routed, so this is perfect timing. And now we fight the militia. This is kind of textbook how you take these out, I think. Through the militia with no issue. Maybe we'll lose somebody to the short bows on the way in. I think someone might have died there. And the light cavalry retreat. Did we lose anyone? 1 Jade Halberdier. So that's okay. They did quite well, you can see. 4 kills, pretty good. Probably mostly militia, but... Then we have a battle in Northia, so I think this was the tougher of the 2. Oh no, it's not actually, this is the easier fight. pretty decent fire rain there on those archers that start, and we've got heavy infantry and militia to deal with. Militia are going to get chopped to pieces, no problem, by our monks. Heavy infantry a bit tougher, but they're slow, so it's not that likely they're going to get all the way over here and cause that many problems, honestly. Ignite arrows being used there, I think. It's good that he switched targets there. He could have kept shooting at the archers, but he saw a juicy target and he switched. Let's see if they take any more shots. A couple dies of crossbows. They're quite beaten up, the remaining heavy infantry. They've taken a bit of damage. So the crossbows should be okay fighting those. Although they've hit on the corner, which means we're going to get ganged up on a bit. And a couple of monks are coming back to help. So we're going to lose a crossbow. I think we lost one crossbow there. But they should now rout. Yep. And then the hope is that maybe he'll shoot at these two. Yep. Kills another one. Well done, Fire Rain Wagon. And then hopefully we don't get any friendly fire at the end here. Nope. So did we lose anyone? Maybe one person? Lost one crossbowman when the heavy infantry reached them. But other than that, very good. Fire Rain Wagon here got 6 kills, all enemies. It's nice to see. And the Iron Body Monks get more experience, always good. So this turn, we've got a couple of big projects going on. So the first is that we are building a palisade up here. It's 1,000 gold, significant investment, but we do need to get our second fort going. Cathay really likes to have a bunch of forts, so we've got that going. It's a shame we didn't get the bastion this turn from the 40 defense. Hopefully next turn we'll get it. It is random. So yeah, it just rolls around 40. Sometimes you need more, sometimes you need less each turn. So hopefully that'll eventually trigger. That'd be good. So we're building a palisade up here. We're grouping our forces together over here. A bunch of monks and some infantry. And we're going to go and take these guys on. So more heavy cavalry. So the same trick. Monks at the front will take the charge. Hopefully none of them will die, and then we'll beat up what is left. Once we've taken that, that might be the end of our expansion up here. I didn't want to go out on a limb over here with Middenheim charging around. Presumably they're going to try and take that. I don't know that they would try and take it with just the White Wolves. They probably could, but they might take some casualties. We've kept Bright Gate because it's sealed off by our borders. We can take that whenever we want, so we'll just go and efficiently take that when it comes time to. But this is much more likely to get attacked by Norska or something, so we're going to group our forces here. And I'd really rather they didn't have that. I'd rather this was the border rather than Bay Pond, which is a valuable province, being vulnerable to them. Of course, they have sailings. So they can just hop over and hit any of these provinces from this. And if Norska gets over here, they can do the same over here. So they're very able to raid us, Norska, and I think we're going to have to keep an eye on them. Over in the east, we've got another joining together of armies, but this time it's on top of this throne. And this might have beastmen from this province attacking up. I think that would be a slightly strange move. I think they're more likely to continue with these provinces than go for the throne directly, given that I'm there and they might be worried about the bump, but who knows? So if we do get the bump, I don't know, but this is heavy infantry and heavy cavalry. We are sending in a pretty good force. They're green, they don't have experience stars, but they're decent quality cavalry. They'll be at the front to absorb the charge. Heavy cavalry are good at absorbing cavalry charges, and then they're followed up by our monks and our remaining infantry, and of course we've got these guys set and holding fire. So that's the plan. I think I'll move these guys up slightly more and maybe change them into a box formation, because I just want those to go and attack. Actually, hold and attack enemy cavalry. I want them to definitely hit the cavalry once they've banged into this front line here. So we're going to go with that. We've got the Word of Power kicking off, which will help us against the heavy cavalry, and we should be okay. If we have to fight the throne defenders and then the beastmen, we might be in trouble, but I think this force would do okay against the beastmen. We've got the missile fire that's very useful against them. We've got decent quality of troops. We'll see. Back in the capital, we do have a big stack of crossbows that are going nowhere at the moment, so I have recruited... or have I? Perhaps I forgot. I think I was recruiting an extra... commander. Yeah, there we go. So we're recruiting a Jade commander in Musul, and he'll come down to Cathay to pick some stuff up. This turn, or the next turn, we're going to get our Dragonblood Lord, and we're also going to have, of course, more monks. We're going to get some Peasant Rocketeers, because we haven't used them yet. I want to make sure I use all of the units and show them off. And we're getting a bunch more Jade Pikemen. And then we've also invested some province defense up where we're building our fort. which is Akaist. We've only invested 10 at the moment. Next turn I'll probably put more in. Maybe I should put more in now because it's such a disaster if you lose the fort to a random event. In fact, I think I am going to do that because it really is bad if you lose the fort. And having enough to beat just a random misfortune caused in the attack is a good idea. So we're going to go with 20, which gives us 6 heavy cavalry and the extra commander, which could come in useful. I mean, it's not great, but I think that that's probably what we should be doing. I'm still going to keep these peasant rocketeers and the iron body monks on the recruitment roster. So yeah, stretching our goals, but we have at least had the alchemy really kind of supercharging what we're able to do. And we've gotten that second fort started. And we should do a third fort fairly soon. If we can take the throne, the fort over there would make sense, or possibly in Rethra, one step behind it, either way. Alright, that's everything for this turn. Let's see what the next turn brings. It's turn number 10. This will be the last turn for this video. Boy, girl, horror! The Marauder Scouts has claimed the Brass Throne. The Brass Throne has been claimed by Slanesh. It should be Khorne, really, claiming the Brass Throne. Fern-based Solar Farm, the Glade Lord, has claimed the Throne of War, so the High Elves, the Wood Elves, rather, Athel Loren are going off to war. Pachar, the Imperial Alchemist, has found a magic site. Very nice. It is the Mudfield, which is 1 earth per turn. Pengze has searched Muspel. You'd think Muspel would have some fire sites, but nothing. And Yaoshi has searched north here for magic sites and found nothing. So we're getting big whiffs, unfortunately, on our fire searches, which sucks, but we did get some earth income, which is good. Beastmen attacked Kunaral with just a scout, so it's just a ping with an Ungor scout. Let me see what's in there. It's heavy cavalry and heavy infantry. And then we attack Kunaral. So our plan here was for our cavalry to fight their cavalry and absorb the charge and kind of survive, and those together with the monks to mop them up. And then we've got these guys firing at archers or something. I don't think there are any archers, so maybe firing at the infantry. Not sure. Let's watch. So first volley, a good hit, killed some heavy infantry, set someone on fire. Crossbows firing. Don't expect the crossbows to do very much against cavalry because it often hits the horse that is quite protected and tough, and they've also got shields that catch quite a lot of them. Heavy cavalry fairly tough against crossbows. In go our cavalry. And our cavalry are definitely of a higher quality than theirs, and we've got the monks backing them up, and we've got preaching, of course. Now that is very unfortunate. We've got a Dynast cavalry lost his horse almost immediately, and badly injured too. And that's being hit by friendly fire, I think, or maybe a lance hit the horse. But their cavalry has got absolutely wrecked by ours. Some monks have gone ahead to the heavy infantry. Just going to turn the volume down slightly for myself. And yeah, basically, we've got another Jade Lancer on fire, unfortunately, by friendly fire. But we are now mopping up. So we've definitely won, but the friendly fire has caused us some trouble once again. That is the risk with the fire wagon. It does kill a fair few enemies, though, I will say. Ooh. So we've got a rider here who lost his horse, and a horse that lost its rider, just got killed then. So after the battle, those two will fuse together, provided the horse doesn't get a chance to run away. And it doesn't look like he's going to. Yep, we're good. So, if we watch look at the after battle report, we lost to Dynast cavalry because we lost 1 rider and 1 horse, so that totals 1. But he did pick up the fleeing horse, the unhorsed guy. So yeah, losing 1 Dynast cavalry is not ideal. They're expensive. You know, they're even more expensive than our monks. But this was not an easy province to take necessarily. I think I would have done better with just the monks fighting, but that's life. And we lost 3 Jade Lancers. They're expensive as well. But that's okay. You know, sweeping 13 heavy cavalry, 17 heavy infantry is not the easiest thing in the world. You can see that the enemy troops only killed 1 thing, but we lost 4, so that tells you the friendly fire was a factor there. Now we've established a Cathay and Bastion in Cathay, which is great. So what this does is give you additional wall defenders. You can recruit Tortoise Warriors, which I will be doing this turn, and you can every turn you get for free 2 Terracotta Pikemen, 2 Terracotta Swordsmen, and 1 Terracotta Horseman, which is very welcome. The earlier you get that, the better. We are on turn 10, which is not that early, but still, it's nice to have. And then we have an unexpected event. We get a Blood Slave. Okay, that definitely could have been a worse event, so that's good. And then we get a worldwide event, unrest increase. So everyone loses some income this turn because there's just unrest everywhere. It's actually less of an issue for us because we've got lots of order, and we'll be making province defense in various places. You know, we're an Order 3 nation, so we reduce unrest constantly anyway. So what are we doing this turn? Well, one thing we will definitely be doing in Conral is putting the defense up, and we'll also be doing that in Northia. And the reason for that is that the Skaven must be nearby. I think they're down here, the Skaven, or possibly here, because gnawing rats have turned up. So they increase the unrest every turn, which really does tank your income if you don't deal with them, and they eat all the supplies, or a significant amount of supplies. So putting the province defense up is the way to get rid of gnawing rats, and yeah, we're going to do that. So 20 here and 15 there should chase those off, otherwise they'll start to spread to other provinces. So we really want to make kind of a wall of province defense to keep those out. It doesn't look like the Beastmen have a big chunk of troops nearby to us. Maybe there's some Norskans up here. We haven't really seen them that well. But this turn we could claim this throne, the Throne of Zeal, and it is a good throne. It gives us Dominion spread, it gives us extra morale on our blessed troops, which is always nice, and it gives us Dominion PD conscription, so order scale of province defense increased up to 10 every single turn. So it saves us some money just by giving us passive province defense recruitment, and it's very good. However, I want my troops to go and take this province, which is Ghouls and Soulless, so I want my profit there because I need to bless the monks that are there, and also I want him casting Stellar Decrees. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to claim that before somebody else does, because it's right on the edge of our territory, and I want to claim it as an extra bit of border, basically. And getting a wasteland's actually fairly good for us. If we can go and site search it, it's obviously very high probability for gem sites a wasteland. So it'd be nice to get that. We can get that, and then we can head back to Canaral. We might get a bump there with some Norscan stuff. Very unlikely to get Beastmen, but we might get a bump with Norscans. If we see nothing around, there's also the potential that we could attack Score Point. So I think actually I might move my scout down here just to keep an eye here. If there's nobody around, we might also take out Score Point and extend our territory like that. But yeah, just making sure we've got enough territory kind of claimed as Cathayan. I see that we've got a fair few orcs hanging around on our southern border. Decent numbers of orcs quite close to us. Now, they could probably be expanding this way. They could be expanding this way. If they were hanging around in Witherland, I'd be a bit more concerned. They do have a cave entrance, but it goes straight into the water. So, yeah, they're not going to be going down there anytime soon. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. We've got to keep an eye on all of our borders. Even Middenheim, I did send them a message, but I haven't heard anything back, so any of these could be hostile, or all of them could be hostile. Recruitment this turn, we got Haoshan, our first Dragon Blood Lord. He is Fire 2, Air 2, Earth 1, Water 1. So I would have preferred to have Water or Earth at 2 rather than Fire, but I definitely like Air at 2. But he is good for site searching, and he can lead a lot of troops. He is actually going to lead some troops up to Musul and probably site search the next turn, even though it's already had 2 Fire. The reason to do that is that I want to go up there and recruit as a Jade Commander to just pick up those troops and maybe go to Breakgate in the next turn or 2. We're also sending someone to Dendro Negret. We're sending in a Nature Mage. They're just going to toddle around Nature 1 and just look for some low-level nature sites, which would be useful to have. We are recruiting in the fort. Now we've got our Bastion up, we can recruit Tortoise Warriors. Tortoise Warriors have got some of the highest protection that we can do. They're formation fighters and they have reinvigoration. They're just very tough defensive troops. They've got these great tower shields they can use, which have magic as well, which is quite helpful. Yeah, good, strong kind of line holding unit. So a big block of those is nice. We're getting our monks as usual, and then we're getting an Earth Elementalist and a Water Elementalist because we don't have those, and we want to start site searching with them and just have a variety of paths out there searching, getting that gem income going. I would like to build my research core, but really I'm just waiting for I pretended to wake up, and then people are going to come home and research because they get the inspiring research bonus at that point as well. Over in the Dunes of Death, we are taking our forces over into Walden. lots of monks, they'll be up front. These are just lance catchers. So they're just going to catch a charge from the enemy cavalry so that the monks don't die. Although, actually, these monks have experience stars. I think that they can just be the lance catchers. So let's move these guys back. And let's put these guys in a line. And we'll have a double line, so they get blessed more easily. And we're going to have our monks do the lance catching, and then these guys will just follow up. I recruited those peasants just to be lance catchers, but now that I think about it, we don't need to do that. So they'll just join in from behind. So that should be a fairly straightforward win. We might lose a couple of things, who knows? And then we're building our forces up to take over Bright Gate. So not a lot else going on. We're still building over here, of course. We've got a bunch of scouts that we're recruiting this turn, and we've already recruited some. So we're going to try and we need some more information, basically. I don't really have enough knowledge of what's going on out in the world. I want to know who's bordering the people who are bordering us. So we're going to send those out to check it all out, and we're going to keep researching. And after a while, we'll get to construction level 3, and we're going to send Dragon Bloods underwater to take over these. Trek Knights is going to be tough. That one's going to be fairly easy. Yeah, so I would like to get more Dragon Bloods, but just now is not the time. We're going to get a chunk of Tortoise Warriors. As I said, I'm going to try every single unit. So Tortoise Warriors this turn. The turn after this one, maybe we'll do a bunch of Sky Lantern soldiers and a Sky Lantern captain. That could be quite cool. Yeah, so we're going to just try every type of troop. And I think that's everything for this turn. It's not going amazing so far, I would say. Our expansion has not been amazing. We've not been that lucky with the site searching. It's going okay. I'd like to get another fort going very soon. We've got one there. We really want to just build everything up, especially get lots of bastions. I definitely want to get a fort over on the throne there and protect that. And once we've dealt with Brightgate and Walden, possibly we'll be redirecting our troops down there. I don't know. Need more information. Can I recruit a scout over here? I am recruiting a scout over there. Okay, so we're going to get more scouts and we're going to find out more on what's going on in the world. And that'll all be for the next video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.